Risk management plan. Shopee. Shopee is an online shopping platform. So, sa application overview is Shopee is an online shopping platform that allows user to buy and sell product digitally. So, alam naman natin na si Shopee is pwede kang bumili ng any products except illegal items and products. Pwede kang bumili doon ng kahit anong products na gusto mo para yun nga, para mag-gustuhan ka, di ba? So, si Shopee is mas pinadali siyang application para sa atin na mga users kasi pwede kang magbenta doon, pwede ka din bumili. If meron kang gustong bilhin, nandun na lahat. So, it handles user account, online payments, personal data, and seller and buyer transaction. So, first is user account. So, sa user account is, dito ka, pwede kang gumawa ng account. For example, wala ka pang account. Pwede ka mag-sign up, just download the application. Next, if meron ka naman ng account, is pwede ka na lang mag-login. So, sa online payments, so dito napapasok yun kapag nag-order ka na, tapos walang cash on delivery or COD, pwede ka na lang pumili ng mga online payments like GCash, Paymaya, or bank transfer para mas convenient. So, next is personal data. So, sa personal data, dito mo makikita yung mga informations mo like name, email, address, and contact number. So, mga details yun about you or about seller. Next is seller and buyer transaction. So, dito naman is dito mo na makikita yung mga transactions mo kapag nag-order ka na. So, meron din itong access yung seller and yung buyer, of course. Kapag nag-order ka is makikita mo na nakapag-order ka na, makikita mo doon is to order. Kapag naman i-ship na ni seller, makikita mo din na to ship na siya. Tapos kapag to deliver naman na, anytime, pwede mo na siyang ma-receive. Kapag na-receive mo na siya noon, is completed na siya. That's all.
So, next is risk identification. So, una, account hacking or unauthorized access. So, yung account hacking o unauthorized access, ito yung nangyayari kapag may ibang tao na nakapasok or nakakuha ng password mo o gumamit ng Shopee account nang walang permission. For example, may nag-send sa'yo ng fake Shopee link, then kailangan mo mag-login, and then after nun, yung hacker is pwede niyang makuha yung mga information mo o gamitin yung account mo para makapag-order ng mga products. So, next, number 2, payment fraud or scam transaction. So, yung payment fraud or scam transaction is nangyayari naman kapag may gumamit ng payment details mo nang walang permission, like yung credit card, e-wallet, or GCash. O gumagamit ng maling paraan para makapag-scam, like yung fake seller. Like for example, may seller sa Shopee na nagbebenta ng mga murang gadgets, then pinagbayad ka agad through online. Then after mo magbayad, yung seller is hindi na nag-reply or hindi na dumating yung item na in-order mo.
Data breach, ito naman yung pag-leak ng information ng user. Halimbawa, name, address, phone number, or payment details. So, delikado ito kasi pwedeng gamitin ito sa fraud or identity thief. The next one is system downtime or crash, server crash. Ito naman yung biglahan hindi paggana ng Shopee application. Halimbawa nito is hindi ka makapag-login, hindi ka makapag-checkout, or nag-error yung system. So, nakaka-epekto ito sa mga user at sa mga business. Sa business is loss of sales.
Risk assessment. Dito sa risk assessment, dito mo makikita yung mga possible na problem. And then dito sa likelihood, impact, and risk level. Dito sa likelihood, dito naman kung mataas or mababa yung mga problem. And then dito sa impact, ito yung epekto ng problema. And then dito sa risk level naman, ito na yung kabuuan ng problema mo. And then dito sa example is account hacking. Yung account hacking, high siya, and then yung impact niya is high din. And then yung kabuuan niya is critical, so kailangan na bigyan ng action. Kasi malala na yung problem. Katulad rin siya dito sa payment fraud. High rin siya, double high sa likelihood and then impact niya. So pareha silang critical. So kailangan silang bigyan ng action para hindi na lumala yung magiging problema.
So I'm discussing the data branch. Yung data branch likelihood is a medium. Ito yung one is not prone to occurring as account hacking or payment fraud data branches. Ito yung are still realistic, concern often linked, and to involving cyber threats or human error in security protocols. Yung wait lang. Yung naman impact or very high, ito yung sensitive na branch na information tulad ng personal information, payment method, payment details, and business data or seller records. Ito yung mga tulad ng mga legal na penalties or loss of customers or damage for that can take years to recover from the financial corporations claims. Yung critical risk naman, ito yung katulad ng mga medium like livelihood and yung impact ng mga user and platform to operation justifying classifying it's a critical requiring security safeguards. Yung naman system or downtime, ito yung likelihood medium, ito yung from to technical failures tulad ng hardware, cyber attack, hardware issues, and or overload na during peak sales events. Yung impact naman, impact or high, yung downtime, ito yung traders, the platform, halting all transaction, order processing, ito yung and customer support. Ito yung this result is immediate financial losses for both the platform and sellers. Yung naman high risk level, ito yung true less server that critical risks that significant operational and financial harm means it demands proactive measure to minimize reduce during downtime duration.
So, sa control strategies naman tayo. Number 1 is preventive controls. So, dito is para siyang action or paraan para maiwasan yung isang problem bago ito mangyari. So, ito yung mga example ng preventive controls. Number 1 is two-factor authentication or OTP. So, dito is kahit alam ng iba yung password mo, hindi nila mabubuksan to kasi need ng verification code para mabuksan to. So, dahil dito, maiwasan natin yung unauthorized access. So, number 2 is secure payment encryption. Dito naman is yung card details mo or personal data is naka-encrypt. Like, parang naka-convert siya sa secret code. Number 3 is strong password requirements. Dito naman is, pag gumagawa ka ng account sa Shopee, nire-record ka ni Shopee na gumamit ng strong password. Like, may uppercase, then may number ka nun. So, number 4 is seller verification process. Dito is, pag pumibili ka ng product, dapat check mo muna if legit yung seller or hindi by checking the review, ganun. So, number 5 is regular systems update and patches. Dito naman is kailangan regular na na-update yung system para ma-improve yung security and ma-enhance yung performance ng isang system.
Detective controls. Detective controls are security action that finds or detect problems after they happen. Na kung saan tawag dito, hinahanap niya yung mga problema pagtas na yung nangyari. Na kung saan they help you notice if something suspicious na nangyayari doon. Number 1, login notification. This means you get a message when someone logs into your account. Parang sa Gmail. Di ba kapag naglalagin tayo sa Gmail, meron na lang magno-notify sa'yo. Someone just logged into your account. Bali bibigyan ka niya ng aware na meron nag-log in na someone sa account mo. Then, number 2 is fraud detection system. Dito naman is, these systems check if there is fake or illegal na activity na nangyayari. No? Kung meron bang fake o hindi totoo or hindi magandang nangyayari. Example naman dito is, an online shop cancel a suspicious order. Kunwari na lang pagkakita mo meron nag-order lang bigla, no? Kung hindi ka na nag-order, yun yung possibility na meron siyang na-detect na possible fraud. Then, number 3, monitoring suspicious activity. Dito naman, wina-watch niya yung behavior na nangyayari. No? Example na lang dito is, katulad lang dito sa someone tries to access your restricted files, no? Dito na lang tawag dito, madidetect ng system kung madidetect ng system na merong dito may nag-access. Kung hindi mo naman siya binigyan ng permission nag-authorize access siya. Then number 4, real-time system monitoring. This means the system is being watched all the time. Ibig sabihin 24/7 yung binabantayan yung system na yon kung merong mangyari, no? Example na lang, a website is check 24/7 for attacks. Dito binabantay niya all the time. Kung kung meron man siyang tawag dito, binabantay niya 24/7 yung system. Yun lang.
So, dito na tayo sa connective controls. Meron ditong account locking system, refund and dispute resolution, data backup and recovery, and customer support reporting. So, account locking system. At dito naman, is ginagawa ni Shopee to pag nakaka-detect siya ng malicious app or suspicious app. Like, yung user is ginagawa niya yung nag-order siya, tas cancel. Tas order, cancel, paulit-ulit. So, ma-detect ni Shopee yun as suspicious app. So, dito niya magagamit yung account locking system. Ilalock niya yung account ng mismong user. So, sa refund and dispute resolution, dito naman is, like, pag, halimbawa, nag-order si user ng bag, blue bag, blue bag, be specific, blue bag, right? So, tapos, may, yung dumating sa kanya, bag siya, pero kulay pink. So, ayaw ni user yun. So, i-refund niya yung bag. So, kaya doon is meron siyang pipinutin na refund doon sa mismong app. Tapos, makukuha niya ulit yung pera. Tapos, ibabalik niya yung item. Doon siya. So, sa next is yung data backup and recovery. Ito naman is like, halimbawa, nakalimutan mo yung password mo. So, paano mo ma-recover yun? Ma-recover mo yun as na gawin mo yung forget password. So, syempre, hindi mo na magagamit yung forget password kung walang backup data si Shopee sa account mo. So, ganun siya. May backup data na yung Shopee sa'yo. Kaya pag nakalimutan mo yung password mo, pwede mo siyang ma-forget password, makuha ulit yung password, ma-recover. So, sa customer support reporting naman, is dito naman yung customer service ng Shopee. Like, halimbawa, gusto mo na lang i-activate yung Shopee Pay later mo. So, gagawin mo na lang is, i-contact yung customer service ng Shopee, then, huwag mo kakalimutan i-type yung live agent para totoong tao yung kausap mo, hindi lang AI. Then, interact para ma-activate yung SPay later mo.